Laker fans, this is another Laker preview video. We're going to get to Portland here in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about that game last night. Ugly loss for the Lakers against the Charlotte Hornets, 100-97. Miles Bridges had big games. LaMelo Ball down the stretch was unbelievable, hitting those back-to-back threes. And they just kind of outpaced the Lakers in the second half. A big part of that was the Austin Reaves ejection. They went on a 12-1 run over the rest of the quarter after he was ejected from the game. So that was a big loss, but still, really no excuse to lose to Charlotte. And they just looked kind of flat after having a 13-point lead. It looked like they kind of thought they were just going to roll over and kind of go to bed. And credit to Charlotte. They kept fighting and they got the job done. And we've seen this happen with the Lakers before with young teams that can run. And that's a young team that can run. They pointed out on the broadcast after the postgame show, it's sometimes people are flat coming off all-star breaks, but not usually young teams. And they're a very young team, kind of playing with nothing to lose, playing with house money. They were 13.5-point dogs going into the game. So very disappointing. I think that's a loss, and that Jazz loss last week that you're going to look back and go, how the hell did that happen? The Jazz loss, at least you had played them 2 nights before, and it was right before the All-Star break, and people thinking that they're getting a little get back. Had just played you 2 nights before, a little pride. But Charlotte, man, this game was ugly, and the Lakers really just never gelled. Reaves was kind of a go-to scorer early, and had LeBron not been Superman down the stretch, it might not even been close. Honestly, no one else was hitting shots. Rui with the 2 missed free throws at the end of the game, that was brutal. And the fact that, again, they were even in it with the crazy dunk from LeBron and him kind of taking over, and then the 3 to make it 98-97. Just a kind of an ugly loss. Hopefully the Lakers can get back in this Portland game, which we're going to get into right now. So the line for this game is interesting. It's 3.5. The Lakers are favored by 3.5. The total is set at 226.5. The Lakers open as a 4.5-point favorite, and the total was originally 225.5. This tells you that they're kind of reassessing the Lakers a little bit, and not that the Lakers can't make a deep run, that we're going to overreact to a couple of games. But the Lakers are really still trying to gel with Luka. Luka admitted last night that he had a rough game. The 3-4 turnovers were really early in the game and could never really find a rhythm on offense, especially from the 3-ball, only making 1 3, I believe. So I think Vegas is kind of reassessing it. The Lakers should win this game. They are on the road, though, and they are on a little bit of a home game winning streak, though Portland has lost the last 3. They lost to Denver twice, and they lost to Minnesota once. We don't know if they're going to be totally healthy. Everyone for the Lakers is healthy, which is a good thing, especially coming off last night. For them, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, their big center, Robert Williams, are both questionable with a knee injury, and Scoot Henderson is questionable with an ankle injury. So those are 3 legit players for them, especially that Robert Williams one is one to watch, considering the Lakers' lack of size. I do got to give Jackson Hayes a lot of credit, though. He's really been playing well. He didn't miss a shot last night. I know a lot of them are dunks and everything, but still, that's kind of what you're looking for in a Luka and LeBron-led team is a guy that can just roll to the basket. And there were a couple of big buckets down the stretch that Jackson Hayes were involved in to kind of even keep that game close. So if Robert Williams is not playing, you're going to see a lot of Donovan Clingan. If you recognize that name, he played at UConn last year. They won the national title. So he has been stepping up as the center in their place. This is kind of another one of those young, hungry teams. They're not super talented. You don't look at the roster and go, this is a tough lineup to get through. But Anthony Simons, almost 19 points per game, leads the team. He's been really big for them. Had some big games against the Lakers as well. And then Shaedon Sharpe, actually, about 17 points per game. Everyone kind of wrote him off as a bust. He was a top 3 draft pick a few years ago, and then he got sent to the G League. He did not play well in the NBA. But this year's kind of been a little bit of a resurgence. He's come off the bench, but has added some nice scoring for them. Jabari Walker had 17 the other night off the bench. And Chris Murray, Kamara, they just got a lot of guys that can hit shots. Avia, he is a 3-point special, so the Lakers really got to watch out for him. And I think we saw that last night with something that Charlotte kind of exposed. The Lakers were helping every time on Luka's guy. And they were just swinging it. They were just swinging the ball around the perimeter and finding the open. And Dorian Finney-Smith was coming over to help every time on LaMelo Ball, which I understood because you can't just let LaMelo Ball destroy you. But that allowed Nick Smith Jr. to hit some big shots and some other guys. Bridges hit some big shots down the stretch. So Avia is going to be a guy I think is going to be sitting in the corner tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see if they trust Luka enough or if they can get a big enough lead where you're not worrying about having to help on Simons or guys like that every night, and then leaving guys open in the corner. But it's something that the Lakers are going to have to figure out. I do expect him to respond. Austin Reaves, I'm sure, is going to come out with a vengeance after that ejection last night. Seemed pretty quick to me. I didn't know what was said, but kind of seems crazy that he got ejected just for that. But hopefully Luka. This was going to take time. Everyone, it's exciting. It's Luka Doncic is here. He hadn't played since December 25th, and he admitted last night, as I mentioned, to being a little bit rusty. It's going to take him a minute to kind of get back in the groove of things. And I don't know if the betting line. LeBron's not listed on the injury report. We do know about the kind of rest and wanting rest. I would wonder if the Lakers would rest him tonight. I'm not sure. I think that probably goes out the window considering the Lakers had lost last night. If they'd won last night, I think that there was a real thought to resting LeBron and getting him ready for Saturday. That could be why the line is so tight, or that they believe that Portland is kind of an up and coming team a little bit, and that's why it's only 3.5 points. So something to watch as we get closer to game time. But again, this is just a team that the Lakers should beat and probably will get a lead in this game. And the fact that the Hornets came back on the Lakers at crypto, in Portland, the crowd's going to be trying to get into it. So 10, 12, 13-point leads are not safe in the NBA. I mean, how many times have we talked about it? The old 12-point lead from 10, 15 years ago, which kind of seemed insurmountable, is not that anymore. You need like a 20, 25-point lead. And even then, it feels like leads just evaporate the way guys shoot today in the NBA. They turn out the lights like that. So the Lakers really got to get ahead and keep their foot on the gas. It would be an ideal situation to be able to let guys rest for that Saturday game against Denver, considering that Denver's right in front of them in the standings, and a team that, as a Laker fan, all you people are sick of watching the Lakers lose to. I mean, they have had the Lakers number for felt like years now. I believe they're like 11-1 in the last 12 games against the Lakers. Don't quote me on that, but some record around there. This is a game where the Lakers really need to win. You can't afford losing to the Jazz, losing to the Hornets, and then Portland. I mean, these are three bad teams, and to be giving away these losses already kind of hurts, but especially considering the schedule next week. You got Denver on Saturday. Then you got the Mavs, which is going to be an interesting game. Even though they have a lot of injuries, the Lakers are currently favored by 7.5 in that game. Then you got the Clippers next week, got Minnesota next week. So they're not easy games coming up, and this is why it sucks losing that Charlotte team. But hopefully Lakers can get back on track, get a win in the column against Portland. Again, a team that they should beat. And I'm frankly surprised they're only 3.5-point favorites. But, hey, maybe Vegas knows something that I don't. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Alan's going to get you guys on his show and then on the postgame show at night. And appreciate everyone. And go Lakers.